John here from NoJokeNHL here with our daily recap report for the games played on Tuesday night. That closes the first week of the playoffs, and we already have one series already over with the San Jose Sharks sweeping the Vancouver Canucks, and we'll get to that game fourth in our card today. So moving right to the games, we have New York Islanders beating the Pittsburgh Penguins last night 6-4. Definitely placing this one over the total of 5.5 easily. A little bit of a sweat on the over 1.5 in the first period, as we didn't get our final 2 goals until the last 5 minutes of the first period. So sitting there, a little bit, but like I said, these teams can certainly put the puck in the net in a hurry. We jumped on the Islanders before this game at plus 600 for the series after their loss in overtime, and now the Islanders come out and get this game here. And frankly, I'm really ecstatic about that. The value on that ticket now, not only for maybe a possible hedge later if the Islanders can take this game 5 coming up in Pittsburgh, which is certainly a tall order, but I actually really like the Islanders at that price just to ride it out. I mean, I really don't see myself hedging, definitely not 50-50 or something like that on this. That 6-1 is a very nice price, and they're very live. The only way it would really be a bad scenario is if the Penguins can somehow get their stuff together and come back out in Game 5 and roll them over, and then, of course, they'd be a big favorite in New York. So that would be the worst case scenario for hedging if you're going to do that. But to be honest with you, from what I've seen and from what I've seen from Marc-Andre Fleury, that last goal, actually 2 of those goals, I mean, you have to seal your leg against the pipe. I mean, whether it's regular season, preseason, whatever, 2 goals allowed where, he just didn't seal the pipe. And, it just goes right through. That last one, like I said, I tweeted out, he looked like a pill bug. I mean, that thing just went right by him, and he just flopped down on the ground and rolled over. I mean, it was the craziest thing I've ever seen. So I'll be honest with you. I think we see Vukun in this next game. And to be honest with you, I'm going to look at it close, but I think if they come back with Vukun and with this, a lot of goals being scored there. I mean, now the Islanders have scored 14 goals in this series in 4 games, and one of those games was a shutout. So pucks are flying in the net, both ways. And to be honest with you, I think if the Penguins start Vukun in Game 5, I may be on the under there in a definite big zigzag of what's going on with the public, because I know the public's going to catch up and be like, wow, we're going to play this over. I know the books are going to be coming out with, a 6 and probably the juice to the over. And so, we're definitely looking at some value there. Probably get a real nice price on under 5.5, probably in the neighborhood of like 2-1. So, fingers crossed that we get that. But these Islanders are, definitely pesky. They definitely are under the skin of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Offensively, they're not keeping up with them. The first 3 games, the Islanders basically threw everything in the kitchen sink at the Penguins. Last night, it was just pretty much calm, cool, and collected, or either that or the flurry was just so awful. But only 14 shots the last 2 periods for the Islanders compared to 24 for the Penguins. And the Islanders score 5 goals in those second and third period, and Pittsburgh manages 3. So like I said, both goaltenders certainly. Nabokov is doing just enough to keep his team in the game, and of course Islanders are getting the benefit of Marc-Andre Fleury. But like I said, if Vukun makes the start, I think I'm going to definitely zigzag this one and probably go towards the under. All right, moving on to the next game, we have the Ottawa Senators winning in overtime against the Montreal Canadiens. Heartbreaking loss for the Canadiens. They pretty much a tight game in the first period, no scoring. Canadiens come out, score 2 quick goals, pretty much in control. Both teams just skating back and forth, and all of a sudden they have a crazy third period in which Ottawa comes back, scores 2 goals to tie it on a ping pong play right in front of the net with less than a minute to go to force overtime. And shortly after that, Carey Price on the last play of the game either looked like he was cramping or pulled a muscle or tweaked something, and they bring out Peter Budaj for overtime, and he lets in the game winner. Really can't fault him. I'm sure he doesn't feel really well about what happened. But that's just the way this has gone for the Canadiens. Just like I said, really lucky goal to really even force this game to overtime. So now Ottawa Senators in the driver's seat here, and in all reality, if they get by the Montreal Canadiens here, they probably will be the team that would face the Pittsburgh Penguins if they were to get out. But we'll see. Maybe after this round, the number 3 seed Capitals will be the top seed in the tournament. We never know, but that'll be an interesting turn of events. So Ottawa controls that 3-1. Of course, Game 4 coming up on that tomorrow night. Moving on to Minnesota, we had the Chicago Blackhawks beating the Minnesota Wild 3-0 in that workmanlike effort that we knew they were going to come out with. I mean, Chicago, like I said, Coach Gunnerville, great coach, definitely gets his team prepared. Didn't really like the non-match of the playoff intensity of the Harding intensity that the Wild came out in Game 3. Brian Bickle hinted around it that there was definitely hard practices or basically slapping people on the hands, letting them know that they are in the playoffs and are going to do that. And sure enough, they come out and Corey Crawford, brilliant in net, but really it's the defense around there. And this Hawks team, like I said, you're going to be playing whack-a-mole with their superstars all season long, or all playoffs long. I mean, last night it was Patrick Sharp's turn to jump up, 2 goals on 4 shots for him. But like I said, tomorrow night it'll be Hossa popping up, and then the next night it'll be Taves, or next night it'll be Kane, or even a Brian Bickle, for God's sake. I mean, Brian Bickle, 11 minutes on the ice average in this series, and he's got 3 goals already. So, like I said, this Hawks team is deep. They're the best team in hockey. I know a lot of people are giddy on the Sharks, and their chances of making it to the finals and winning the cup. But, like I said, you're going to have to get through this Blackhawks team. I definitely have them in the finals, Western Conference Finals for sure. So I'm not sure who's going to come out, be the team to face them in the Western Conference Final. But without a doubt, you're going to have to go through them to get to the Cup Final in the West. And then finally, final game on the card, San Jose Sharks 4-3 over Vancouver in overtime. It's a game that really could have got out of hand. Sharks were just, came out with a lot of intensity, got a quick goal. Even Brack7 tweeted out, like, this could get ugly in a hurry. And lo and behold, then Vancouver ties it up. And then, the San Jose takes a 2-1 lead going into the third period. I flip away to the other game, come back, and it's 3-2 Canucks. And, I was like, wow, what's going on here? But, of course, San Jose, Pavelski with his second of the night ties it up, ties it up near the end of the game ties it up near the end of the game for the Sharks. They force the overtime, and then Patrick Marleau gets a tap in to eliminate the Vancouver Canucks. 47 shots on goal for the Sharks last night. So a lot of people saying Corey Schneider sucks and he's the reason and everything else. But when you give up 4 goals out of 47, that's still a decent effort. Niemi 3 goals on 35 shots. So both teams, flying with a lot of intensity offensively last night, but not much defense to be played here. So like I said, the Sharks are off and they get a little bit of a rest. Seeing who they play next could be a variety of people, especially with 2 of these other series going, 2-2 into Game 5. So we're going to have to wait and see how the West fills out for the second round. But that brings us to the end of today's report. And like I said, I'll be back at 3 o'clock Eastern with the preview video for tonight. We have the 4 games on tap: Toronto, Boston, Washington, New York, St. Louis, LA, and Ducks and Wings. Wow, I did that by memory. All right, everybody. As always, let's drop the puck, and more importantly, let's make some money.